welcome to Lately Coffee with Mary. I'm so glad that you're here with me today, whether I know you from childhood or I know you from down the street or you're my family member or I've never met you in my life. I'm really glad that you're joining with me. I actually do love to meet new people, and so if you don't know me, I would love to meet you. And so this is me just having coffee with all the people that I would love to have coffee with like every single week, but my week is extremely busy, and so I couldn't meet with every single person that I want to meet with. So this is me having coffee with the whole world, because if you knew me well, you would know that that's exactly what I want to do, and my husband knows all too well that that's what I want to do. I'm always trying to meet up with everybody, and I have 4 children and I homeschool, and so it's a little bit challenging to fit all of my social activities into our week. And so I just felt like this would be a fun way for me to get to connect with people that I love and know, and people I don't know, and just share with you what's on my heart and what I'm loving lately and what I'm living lately and just what's going on in my world, because oftentimes I don't get to leave the home or go see people that I want to see. So I don't know if you're similar, if you're also a stay-at-home mom, or maybe you're a working mom, or you're a grandma, or you're a young adult that is in college. I have some of those girls that I mentor that are watching, so I'm so glad that you're watching. And yeah, I just wanna have coffee with you. Can we just hang out for like a few minutes here? And notice my cute little cup. This is a gift from my friend Amy Shanley, and I love it. And so I wanted to give her a little shout out for that because it's super cute. But what is going on in my life lately? So I was so glad that my husband got to join me the last 3 weeks. So if you missed any of those, please go back and watch it, because he shared some of my favorite songs that he's written. He is an incredible writer, and God just gives him wisdom and words. And those were love songs, but he's written a ton of other songs. So I might have him back on again another time. But for now, it's just me and you, because I miss just getting to share with you what's going on in my world. So something that has been really sticking out to me lately, probably in the last like year, and it continues to stick out to me, is in social media and on anywhere that you would be online. I keep seeing these quotes and these people hashtagging and just saying that I'm enough or you're enough. And every time that I hear that or I see that, like something in my spirit just stirs, and I'm like, no, I'm not enough. Like, you're not enough, I'm not enough, we're not enough, and it's okay. Like, and I feel like that's really counterculture, but it's true. Like, God made us to be perfect and to be whole, but after the fall, like, we are not enough, and we can't live up to the standards that the world has. We can never be the perfect wife. We could never be the perfect mom. I can never be the perfect friend or the perfect daughter. Like, I just can't live up to the standards that I have, and I can't live up to the standards that my family has or my husband or my kids. Will never be enough. And I don't know if you need to hear that today, but I needed to be reminded of that, because we can get so stuck with this idea of that I am enough already. Like, I already have everything that I need to be successful in life. And there's 2 sides to the story. So yes, I do feel like God has been able to use me to be a wonderful mom and a wonderful wife and all of those things, but it is not anything in myself that makes me wonderful. Like, me in my own strength. And if I were to try and just muster up the strength to homeschool my 4 kids daily, I would be a hot mess. I'd be screaming at them. I would be so impatient, just awful. I would be so selfish. I would try to do everything for myself. Like, in my own strength, I'm not enough, and I'm a terrible mom. And in my own strength, I'm a terrible wife, because I want to please myself and not him. And in my own strength, I am not a good friend, and I'm not a good sister, and I'm not a good daughter. Like, I'm just not, and I don't think that anybody can be. Like, we just all fall short, we all fail, and it's okay. Like, it's okay that that's where we are, because thank the Lord, Jesus, because of Jesus. It says in 2 Corinthians, and this is what I'm reading right now through my CBS, which I talked about earlier, and we're reading through 2 Corinthians, and one of the verses that just stood out to me and that really resonated with what I'm talking about, it says that in 2 Corinthians 3:5, not that we are adequate. And another word for adequate is sufficient. Not that we are sufficient, not that we are adequate, not that we are competent. These are all different translations that I looked up. Not that we are qualified, not that we are capable. So I don't know about you, but most days I do not feel adequate, I do not feel competent, I don't feel qualified, and I don't feel sufficient to do the things that God's calling me to do. And Paul's saying not that we are adequate in ourselves to consider anything as coming from ourselves. So the things that we're doing and the ways that we actually do measure up to what people want aren't out of our own strength and out of our own goodness, but our adequacy, our sufficiency, our competence, our capability, our qualification is from God and God alone. And so anything that is in me that is good, anything that is in me that is sufficient, that is noteworthy, that is competent, any wisdom that I have, any knowledge that I have, it is not my own. It does not come from me trying and learning and striving, because I could do that till I'm blue in the face the rest of my life and I will never measure up. I will never be enough. But with him, but with God, when I allow myself, when I recognize that I'm not enough, and I'm like, okay, God, I realize that I will fail every single day. Can you please help me? Can you please give me what I do need? He is more than happy to. He is more than able to give us everything that we need, abundantly more than we could ask or imagine. And so when you see people out in the world that just seem to have it all together, they may, for a while, like in their own strength, they may have it all together for a little while, but then eventually it's all gonna hit the fan and it's all gonna crumble, because we can't maintain that. Nobody can maintain being fully in charge of their lives and being fully capable to do anything. But with God, we are more than conquerors. With God, we are able to do immeasurably more than we could think or imagine, and we are adequate and we are sufficient. And we are competent, and we are qualified, and we are capable. And it is not me, but it is him. And we can do everything with excellence. We can do everything to his standard, in his strength, not my own. And so I know that's kind of a silly message, and maybe you're like, obviously it's not me. But I don't know, because I hear all of these verses and I see these people that are like, I'm enough, you're enough. And I'm like, no, we're not enough. That's not true. And I think that anybody could fall in one ditch or the other. You can either be super competent in your own abilities, confident in your own abilities, and think that you can handle any situation, because you usually do, because God's gifted you to handle and manage things really well. And so you may not feel like you do need him. You may feel like, I got this, God. Like, I can handle most of my situations until it gets really rough. Like, I'm not going to come knocking. And so that's some of the population is just super able to handle all circumstances. And then there's the other half of the people that feel like they are never enough, but to like the worst case scenario. Like, they don't even think that they should be a mom. They don't think they should be a teacher. They don't think they should be a wife because they're not good enough, because they don't have what they need. And so they'll completely condemn themselves to not doing anything, because they just discredit themselves constantly and berate themselves emotionally and are constantly telling themselves that they aren't good and they never will be good. And so there's two camps. There's the people who never feel like they are good at all and can't recognize that they can be amazing with God. And then there's the other camp that feels like they already are amazing and they don't need God. And so I don't know where you are today. I'm probably lean more towards the side of thinking I can do everything, and then I realize very quickly that I cannot. And just, pride comes before the fall. And let me just tell you, I have fallen many times, have eaten my words, and have looked like a fool because I thought I could do things in my own strength. And so God allows us to do that. He's not going to make anybody trust in him. He's not going to make anybody rely on him. That's something that we have to give him, and that we have to lay down our own strength and be like, I don't want to even try to do this in my own strength, because I'm going to be exhausted and it still won't be good enough. So what's the point? It's so much easier. And I've learned this over the past 11 years of marriage, but also just to being a mom, that in my own strength, I will fail every day. And so to just pray and to ask God to help me and to just be with me, because when I do, oh my word, like the patience that I have and the ability to sit and listen to, crazy stories and to handle their conflicts that seem to never end. Like, I don't have that in myself. I am not that patient. I'm so far from that, but I recognize that I'm able to handle stuff that I would never have been able to, because he's helping me, because he's with me, and because his spirit is enabling me to do those things well. And so if you were needing that encouragement, or you were needing that idea of your strength doesn't have to be enough, and you don't have to be enough, and we can fully rely in God to be all of those things in us. I know that I needed that reminder this week, just to not feel like I need to rise to the standards of the people that are in my life, the people that are calling you to do all of these things and to juggle all of these things on your plate. And you can start to feel very inadequate and feel very like, there's no way that I can handle all this stuff. But God didn't call you to do that in your own strength. And if he does put things on your plate that feel like too much, he is able to give you what you need for that season. And typically, seasons are short and they don't last forever. And you may have a lot on your plate, but it's just for a season, and then it'll be rearranged and moved around. And so right now in my season with a bunch of little kids, I'm just thankful that God does give me peace, and that he gives me joy to just enjoy my children as this age that they're at, where I'm literally chasing them around the house to wipe their bottom, or to get them to sit on the toilet, or to wipe their boogers, like the most disgusting things that are happening all day long. That's my life right now. And I know that it's just a season, and I can have that perspective that will help me to find joy in the moments, because I know that they are just moments and they're not going to be there forever, and to cherish them and to cling to them and to just be fully present with my kids right now. And if you're someone that's working and you're with adults all day, and just to be fully present wherever you are, to be fully there and fully engaged. And then when you're with your kids, be fully engaged and fully present. But I know that it's so difficult to juggle all of the different responsibilities and hats that we wear. And so with all that said, I just want to encourage you that although you are not enough, God is enough, and he is fully capable of being everything that you need, and giving you the strength that you need for today, giving you the strength that you need for tomorrow, to be the person that he's calling you to be within your family, within your work, within your relationships. He will give you everything that you need. You do not need to rely on your own strength, because you will fail. So don't even try. Just call on him, because he is so willing to help you. So that's really all I wanted to share with you today. I thought about some other things, but this has already probably been long enough. So I'm glad that we had to have coffee together, or tea. I actually have coffee, and it's so warm and toasty, and I just love holding it. But if you are watching this and you've been watching, and anything that I've said has resonated with you or has encouraged you, I would love to know, because I honestly have no clue who's watching this. And some of you have reached out to me privately, and I'm so thankful. Like a friend from Alaska when I was a little kid, Stephanie, just reached out to me, and she was friends with my mom, and so she knew me as a little girl, and it's so crazy to connect with her on this forum now. And so if you're someone that I've met in the past, and you knew me in some place that I lived, or if you're local, or I don't know, if you don't even know me at all, please reach out to me and let me know that you're watching, because I would love to meet you and to know that who I'm talking to. But anyway, so you can, if you don't want to miss, you can subscribe. So there's the button subscribe underneath, and then you hit the bell, and then it reminds you or lets you know whenever I post, so then you can join me again for coffee. And feel free to share and to like and do whatever else you do with social media stuff. But I will talk with you soon. Thank you for joining me. Bye-bye.